here. So students will get a college advisor in the middle of their junior year. They'll have another advisor too. So they'll have a personal advisor that they'll work with one-on-one, and then a college advisor that they work with about college placement and things like that. Do you want to see the chapel too? Yeah. And the sun's out. That's nice. So yeah, they'll use this chapel for meetings. The unique thing I think about Hotchkiss is almost everything in the day for students happens in this one building. So almost all of the classes are in here, except for science. So pretty much, the students will leave their dorms, which are all around this main building, and then they just come in here for classes. So this is the English wing. Upstairs is math and history and language. Downstairs is art. Music is around the corner. So pretty much they just come in here and they're all together, which is really kind of unique for most boarding schools. A lot of times they're a little more spread out around a campus. So that's brings the community together. But small classes, our average class size is 12. One of the best parts of campus is our lake. So students will often swim there or just hang out. There's a nice little beach there. We also have a 9-hole golf course that goes around campus. So that's also kind of unique for us. So there's a lot of the classrooms overlook the lake. Pretty spectacular view. Down that way, that's where everybody is right now, but there's a pretty performance hall down that way. I won't go down right now, but maybe we'll catch it on the way back if they're done. They're having a lot of events right now under the tent. So students take 2 years of art here, usually 9th and 10th grade year. They can go on from there if they want, but for photography, the students will take like an old timey photo. We'll come out so you can see the front of the building. That's pretty. But the art program here is really fantastic. They always have the gallery has usually display. So they do they'll display a artist in residence here usually. There's a lot of different traditions at Hotchkiss, so we'll go through these center doors, but the students do not because they think they won't graduate, which is very funny. And so the seniors only can go on the grass there. So a lot of funny little superstitions and traditions, which I joke about, but lots of things you can't step on. Actually, I was talking to one of my players who's from Canada, and she was like, it's a lot for me to remember of what I can and can't do. Like, where am I walking? What am I doing? But so this is the front of the main building. So yeah, that's pretty space. And then maybe we'll, so we can see some of the outsides of the dorms, but we can go over to the athletic center too, so you can take a look at, there's a beautiful weight room there. We have a great strength program that we'll take advantage of as a program. So we'll lift in season with our strength coach. He's phenomenal. So we'll usually do that twice a week and do one that's a little heavier with strength and one that's a little more on the recovery side. He also does some conditioning with us too, so it's great to have. And then we'll also have a dynamic program that students can do in the off season. That's a lifting program. So many of our players will take advantage of that. We're lucky to have that as a school. We also have an indoor turf. So we have 2 hockey rinks. They take one of them offline and they'll turf that as well. So we can just see that. We both play, boys and girls play on grass though here. We have a turf field that the football team uses that we'll play on occasion, but primarily depends on the teams we're playing, but we're kind of playing a mix of grass and turf depending on the school. But these are dorms here. We have a mix of doubles and singles around campus, but we house 9th and 10th grade students together and then 11th and 12th grade students together. So we do them by grade. They're renovating our dining hall right now, so that's going to open a pretty huge project, which we're looking forward to that opening. It'll be December 1st, which is great. This is a dorm, but on the left here is our health center. It's a 24-hour health center, which has overnight rooms. So that's unique if students aren't feeling well. Actually, I was on duty in the dorm last night, and at around 10:30, one of the girls wasn't feeling well. So she went over to the health center, super easy. They checked her out. She came back, but you could stay over if you're not feeling well. So that's a big benefit for our students. We have a doctor there, nurses as well. Injuries for sports, though, we have trainers on staff. So if they have an injury, they can head into the trainer. We're 6 minutes from a hospital for a big injury, but knock on wood. New York City is our closest. It's about 2 hours. Yeah, and then Boston's 3. Yeah, it's nice. It's nice. Yeah, you can actually take the train to the city, or to New York City. We're the end of the Harlem line, so yeah, it's easy. Jump like 20 minutes to the train, so that's kind of fun. For transportation for students that are flying, for any break, we'll bus students to an airport, so that's really easy. So parents just need to fill out, are you going to JFK or are you going wherever? Yeah, we'll have our buses going and dropping students off at those locations. So that makes that's really convenient for parents. They don't have to worry about getting kids to an airport or anything. And then similarly, our athletic center is like the main building in that everything is in the athletic center. So our basketball courts are here, the hockey rinks are here, wash, everything's all in here. Golf, yeah, the golfers are out. But it's neat. So in the winter, when the winter season sports are using the athletic center, all the games are happening at the same time. And like the student fans just kind of go from one game to another, which is really fun. We have a big pool, an Olympic-sized pool. So that's fun for students to just kind of get to travel around in the building. So it has that same field from one side of campus to the other. The bear cat is our mascot, so the students will rub the paw for good luck. But here's our pool. There is open swim for students, so if they just want to go in and swim when it's open, they can do that. And then winter season is swimming. This is our field house. So we have an indoor track. These are set up for volleyball right now, but it also is basketball too. We have another basketball court as well, but sort of multi-surface. Could do indoor soccer, tennis, lots of different things in here. So it's a nice space to be able to have a lot of different activities in. So we have crew, we have rowing, which is in the spring. This is our training room, so if there's any physical therapy or anything that our students need, they can come in here. And then this is our strength. The coach is vacuuming our turf. That's pretty much it. We've got some squash courts here too, the hockey rink. We'll look at the turf. So yeah, so this is turf right now. It's the hockey team has been using it clearly, but if the weather's bad or our field's really wet, we'll come on in here and play. So it's a nice alternative to have in the season to be able to come on in. Yeah. I want to find some other scrimmages for the beginning of our season. We do a couple play days, but not a full scrimmage. So we play on the far field. It's really, we take good care of it. Great grass, it drains really well. We'll practice more here on the right. So we made this like little field so we don't tear it up. There's more fields down that way.
Okay.
So there's 2 more soccer fields down there. Field hockey plays down there. The boys play up there. And so that goal there is the boys varsity goal. And then there's 2 more fields to the right. So we have a lot of land. And then our turf is down the road that way. Brand new. They just put it in the summer. So we'll have a night game there this year, which is fun under the lights. Sometimes we're playing at the same time as some of the other teams. So that's tricky. But anytime, there's a free time, that a team's playing, we'll try to go watch for sure. But then we'll get Parents Weekend, we'll play on the Friday night, and we'll be the only team playing. So that's fun. So we'll have a good crowd. And that's definitely the community here. People come support. We'll get a lot of fans at our games, as do a lot of the other teams. So, we try to go and support everybody.
Nice.
So yeah, that's kind of the beauty of where we're located, I would say, in comparison to maybe some other boarding schools, is we're tucked away up here. So, some students will leave on the weekends, but often many don't. So, they come to games, they come support. So you have a nice community for weekend activities and things. So I think that's important for international students who might worry, oh man, are the people who live close by, are they going to leave on the weekends? Well, here, not really. So usually there's a nice set of activities to do, and people here busy in the dorms. So that's nice. Like last night, they had one of the traditions that Hotchkiss has every year, which is called matriculation, where each new student gets up and they'll introduce themselves to the school, and they sign into the school book, and then they have a school dance right after. So that was really exciting. And then this morning, my dorm got a coffee bar in the dorm. So that was cool. So they're getting all this cool stuff right now. I have a few players in the dorm that I work in. I was like, what's good? Like, y'all are getting all this good stuff right now. So it's usually a busy few nights back at school, which is nice. Today was the first day. Yeah, and then it's been orientation or preseason. We started preseason last Friday. Lots to do in here, though. The kids can have a lot of fun.
Where does most of internationals comes from?
It's a pretty well-distributed group. I mean, I think our biggest population is coming from, some of the Asian countries. So China or Hong Kong, like Singapore, South Korea, some of those countries. But, we're certainly trying to grow outside of there. So there are students coming from really all over South Africa.
Do you have any Brazilian here?
I'd have to look and see if we have any currently. We certainly have had in the past. I don't know if there's anyone here right now. The 10 schools group that we travel with has historically traveled to Brazil, but I think they've stopped that trip. So we've gone in the past, but definitely, students from Latin America, other South American countries can be popular sometimes in some of those countries. This is a little more popular in Mexico, but some students will just come for 1 year and then they go home. So they just get that like abroad opportunity. Yeah, we haven't seen that as frequently recently, but in the past that was a little more common. I mean, that's kind of it for, I think, most of campus. I don't know. I think you got a pretty good sense.
Thanks so much.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
Of course.